ಮುಖ್ಯ ಅತಿಥಿಯಾಗಿ ಬಂದಂತಹ ಜಾರ್ಜ್ ಸಾಹೇಬರು ಹಾಗೆ ಅವರ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಪ್ರೆಸ್ ಕ್ಲಬ್ನ ಅಧ್ಯಕ್ಷರಾದಂತಹ ಶ್ರೀ ಉಪಾಧ್ಯಾಯ ಅವರು ಇಲ್ಲಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ವರ್ಲ್ಡ್ ಕ್ರೈಸಿಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಪಾತ್ವೇ ಟು ಪೀಸ್ ಈ ಪುಸ್ತಕದ ಬಿಡುಗಡೆಯನ್ನ ಶ್ರೀಯುತ ಉಪಾಧ್ಯಾಯವರು ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಗೃಹ ಮಂತ್ರಿಗಳಾದಂತಹ ಜಾರ್ಜ್ ಸಾಹೇಬರು ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಕೂಡಿ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ವಿನಂತಿಸ್ಕೊಳ್ತೀನಿ. ದಯವಿಟ್ಟು ವೇದಿಕೆಯಲ್ಲಿರುವ ಇತರ ಗಣ್ಯರು ಕೂಡ ಈ ಪುಸ್ತಕ ಬಿಡುಗಡೆಯನ್ನ ಜೊತೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಕೇಳ್ಕೊಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ. ಪತ್ರಿಕಾ ಮಾಧ್ಯಮದವರು ಹಾಗೂ ದೃಶ್ಯ ಮಾಧ್ಯಮದವರು ಅವರಿಗೆ ಬೇರೆ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮ ಇರುವ ಕಾರಣ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಅರ್ಜೆಂಟಲ್ಲಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಹಾಗೆ ಈ ಪುಸ್ತಕ ಬಿಡುಗಡೆಯ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮವನ್ನ ಹಜರತ್ ಮಿರ್ಜಾ ಮಸೂರ್ ಅಹಮದ್ ಅಬಿ ಅನ್ಸರುಲ್ ಅಜೀಜ್ ರವರು ಪ್ರಪಂಚ ಇವತ್ತು ಎದುರಿಸುತ್ತಿರುವ ಸಾಮಾಜಿಕ ರಾಜಕೀಯ ಸಮಸ್ಯೆಗಳನ್ನ, ಅಶಾಂತಿಗಾಗಿ ಹತ್ತು ಹಲವಾರು ಕಡೆ ನಡೆಯುತ್ತಿರುವಂತಹ ಕ್ಲಿಷ್ಟ ಸಮಸ್ಯೆಗಳ ಬಗ್ಗೆ, ಜೊತೆಗೆ USA ಪಾರ್ಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ ಕ್ಯಾಪಿಟಲ್ ಹಿಲ್ ಯುರೋಪಿಯನ್ ಪಾರ್ಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ ಕಾಂಗ್ರೆಸ್ ಉದ್ದೇಶಿಸಿ ಮಾತಾಡಿರುವಂತಹ ಎಲ್ಲ ಸಾಮಾಜಿಕ ಸಮಸ್ಯೆಯ ಬಗ್ಗೆ. ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಎ ಕಾಂಪಿಲೇಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಸ್ಪೀಚಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಲೆಟರ್ಸ್. ಅದರ ಮೂಲ ಉದ್ದೇಶ ಜಗತ್ತಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಶಾಂತಿ ಅಹಿಂಸೆಯನ್ನು ಸ್ಥಾಪಿಸುವುದು. ಈ ಪುಸ್ತಕವನ್ನ ಗೃಹ ಮಂತ್ರಿಗಳಾದಂತಹ ಜಾರ್ಜ್ ಸಾಹೇಬರು ಹಾಗೂ ಉಪಾಧ್ಯಾಯರವರು ಇತರ ವೇದಿಕೆಯಲ್ಲಿರುವಂತಹ ಗಣ್ಯರ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಪುಸ್ತಕವನ್ನು ಬಿಡುಗಡೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಪತ್ರಿಕಾ ಮಾಧ್ಯಮದವರ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಒಂದು ವಿನಂತಿ. ದಿನವೂ ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ವಿಷಯಗಳನ್ನ, ಸಮಾಜದಲ್ಲಿ ಆಗುವಂತಹ ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಘಟನೆಗಳನ್ನ ತಾವು ಪ್ರಕಟಿಸ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತೀರ. ಶಾಂತಿ, ಸೌಹಾರ್ದ ಹಾಗೂ ಸಮುದಾಯದ, ವಿಭಿನ್ನ ಧರ್ಮದ ಒಳಗೆ ನಡೆಯುತ್ತಿರುವಂತಹ ಈ ಅನ್ಯೋನ್ಯತೆಯ ಸಮಾರಂಭವನ್ನ ಸಾಧ್ಯವಾದಷ್ಟು ಸಮಾಜಕ್ಕೆ ಉತ್ತಮ ಸಂದೇಶದೊಂದಿಗೆ ಪ್ರಕಟಿಸಬೇಕು ಅಂತೇಳಿ ವಿನಂತಿಸ್ಕೊಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ. ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳು ಸರ್. ಈ ಪುಸ್ತಕದ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಇವತ್ತಿನ ಪ್ರೆಸ್ ಕ್ಲಬ್ನ ಅಧ್ಯಕ್ಷರಾದಂತಹ ಶ್ರೀ ಉಪಾಧ್ಯಾಯ ಅವರು ಮಾತಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಕೇಳ್ಕೊಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ. ಶ್ರೀ ಉಪಾಧ್ಯಾಯ ಅವರು.
Karnataka's Home Minister, Sri K.J. George, other dignitaries on the dais, ladies and gentlemen. When the organizers asked me to come here and release this book, I was a little hesitant to take up this responsibility because I felt that I was not qualified enough for this job. And secondly, I should also admit that my knowledge of Ahmadiyya faith was a little sketchy, and I suggested to Mr. Nazir Ahmad and others that you should probably look for someone else. They insisted that I should come here and release this book, and then I did read up quite a bit on the Ahmadiyya faith and also Mr. Masoor Ahmad Saab and others. And I was really fascinated by the kind of work that is being done in this community. As we all know, around the world, Muslims are facing the worst kind of conflicts and war. Almost 90% of the conflict zone is in the Muslim world, whether it's Middle East, Pakistan, Afghanistan, or the African countries. Most of the victims are Muslims. It's a very sad state of affairs, and I think the world needs to do something very urgently to bring about peace in the majority of these countries, because it's the poor, it's the women, it's the children who are suffering. And I'm very glad this Ahmadiyya community is taking up this peace mission in a very, very big way. I think it was long overdue that some kind of initiative like this had to come. It has to come from all religions and all faiths, but more importantly, I think it has come from within. I would like to congratulate the organizers of this meet for having this function here in Bangalore. I must make it a point to say that, we live in a world where interfaith understanding is very, very important. Muslim community constitutes almost 14% of the population in India. That's about, let's say, 160 to 170 million population now. And there are estimates that, there was a recent report which said that in 2007, the Muslim community has overtaken even Catholics, and they form the largest community in the world now. The Catholics are about 17.24% and the Muslims are 19.2%. So it's the biggest chunk of population in the world. And by, I think, 2030, 1/4 of the global population will be Muslims. There is need for, I think, the other communities to understand the trauma that the Muslim community is going through. I think there are some reasons for which probably some countries or some people within the community who are responsible for the kind of conflict that is happening, but it needs to be addressed very vigorously. I must say that this book, World Crisis and Pathway to Peace, is a wonderful collection of addresses that Mirza Masroor Ahmad Saab has done around the world, and also the letters he has written to the world leaders. He makes some very interesting observations. There is a stereotyped opinion that most of the terrorism is originating from the Muslim community, and they're responsible for what is happening. But it is not true, we all know, and in this book we have a very clear message that goes out to the community. He says, I quote, "Among the problems of today, one problem has arisen, if not directly, then indirectly because of religion. Some groups of Muslims use unlawful means and suicide bombers, bombing in the name of religion, to kill and harm non-Muslims, including soldiers and innocent civilians, and at the same time to brutally kill innocent Muslims and children. This cruel act is totally unacceptable in Islam. Due to this ghastly behavior of some Muslims, a totally wrong impression has developed in non-Muslim countries, and as a result, some parts of the society talk openly against Islam, whilst the others, even though do not speak openly, do not carry a good opinion about Islam in their hearts. This has created distrust in the hearts of the people of Western and non-Muslim countries about Muslims, and because of this attitude of a few Muslims, instead of the situation improving, the reaction of non-Muslims is getting worse by the day." I think this understanding is very important, and community leaders need to come out and speak out loudly so that the conflict or situations are reduced. And in India there is a tendency to treat Muslims as a vote bank. I mean, whether it's any political party, they think that they vote en bloc and their votes can be bought over. And here there is a very good passage which talks about how the Muslims vote. I would like to point out that. Generally speaking, in the modern era, most governments are run democratically. Therefore, if a person or group wishes to change the government, then they should do so by following the proper democratic process. They should make themselves heard by voting at the ballot box. Votes should not be cast on the basis of personal preferences or personal interests, but in fact, Islam teaches that a person's vote should be exercised with a sense of loyalty and love for his country. A person's vote should be cast with the betterment of the nation in mind. Therefore, a person should not look at his own priorities and from which candidate or party he can personally benefit. Instead, a person should make his decision in a balanced way, whereby he assesses which candidate or party will help the entire nation progress. The keys to the government are a huge trust, and thus they should only be handed over to the party who the voter honestly believes is best suited and most deserving. This is the true Islam, and this is the true loyalty. I think Karnataka also has about 12% Muslim population, and they have overwhelmingly voted for Congress party in the last election. I'm sure Mr. Jarsaw will take a look at the condition of the community in Karnataka, and they do their best, because I think they do deserve better quality of life, which is not available to them right now. There is the Sachar committee report before us. Unfortunately, nothing much has been done. I hope Judge Saab, with the leadership of Siddaramaiah, will take up and do something, very sincerely for the community, so that they also come up in life. With these few words, I thank the organizers for inviting me here, and thank you very much.